first we review the Creality Cr-10. I've got this really thick support frame that's going to go on. After that, it was the Creality Cr-10 Mini. And then we did the Creality Cr-10 S, the upgraded version. Just recently, we did the Creality Ender 2. And today, we have the most important, largest home printer I've ever seen. Today, we're taking a look at the Creality Cr-10 500mm 3D printer. So as far as I can tell, this is the largest printer that Creality offers, and basically almost all the components are the same in there. I mean, you've got a board that can last up to 200 hours of printing without any errors, or so it says, and pretty much even the nozzle is the same as the other Cr-10s. So I think this is going to be very similar to other printers we've seen in the past, other than its extreme build volume. So let's get it out of the box, put it together, and see what we can get printed with it. Wow, this thing is massive. This thing is just huge. It's pretty much the whole size of the table. So basically this printer is going to live on this table. Other than that, I need to buy a new house. Yes, queen, that's right. Take a look inside the box here. You'll see we've got all the components that are very, very nicely and neatly laid out. So as you can see here, it's very similar looking to the Cr-10. It's just huge. Actually, Cr-10 Plus, it does have 2 Z-axis rods. So, all right, let's go ahead and pull this guy out of here ever so carefully. Of course, because of the size of this printer, it does have 2 Z rods, and that is something it would need to have, much like the Cr-10 S. Sounds like tools. Okay, and this is our control board, our PSU, our power supply is also in here, and this is going to be where you're going to control your prints. I often like to add a Raspberry Pi to the side, that way I can control it wirelessly. You can also put the same cables that you need to control that right through here, so it makes it nice and easy. Another thing you're going to want to do here is check the side, because you've got your voltage right there. So remember, if you're in America, you want it to be on 110, so we're going to go ahead and switch this from 220 over here to the 110. It says 115 right there, and that's where you need that to be. So, cool. Now that this guy is ready to go, we're going to put it aside until we need it. It's one of the last things that we're going to use to hook everything up. Be sure to check the box for any pieces. I noticed I had this one piece right here. This is used to level the bed of the printer, so you're going to want to make sure you check the box and do not leave any plastic pieces inside of it. Okay, this one's good. So let's see what extras came with it. All right, so all of the actual plastic to turn it kind of a black and blue is right here. So you can actually put this in between these little pieces right here, and that's going to change the color of the actual printer. So you've got that, we'll put that aside. Got tape for the printer bed to help the actual prints adhere to the printer bed a little better. Assembly instructions, 3D printer cable, power cable, the hardware needed to actually assemble the printers right there, and the tools. Plus the printer does come with a small reel of white PLA filament, so you can actually get started with some prints right off the bat. This looks like some extra hardware right here in case you're missing anything. You've got some spare parts right here. The filament holder. We've also got a filament detector. This is what's going to tell you if the printer runs out of filament. So this is the device that actually identifies that right there. And lastly, of course, we have the SD card, which is going to have the printer instructions on it, and usually a test print right inside here. So we're going to go ahead and take this piece right here and put it in the printer. Okay, so we have the printer just taken out of the box and just kind of all the pieces put out right now. It generally takes about 10 minutes or less to actually put the printer together. It's very quick. So what I'm going to do right now is actually just get this thing built, and then we're going to level the bed and get started on our first print. I'll see you in just a few minutes. right, so there we go. We have the printer up and running right now. It's doing its first print, as you can see behind me right now. Of course, the next thing we need to do is test some very large print items. So we need to do some really tall items, some really wide items, and we need to check the quality, once we get done doing that. So that's my next goal right now. Once we get done doing this test print, like I said, is to do some huge, gigantic prints. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far. We're going to go ahead and just and go some time lapses. This is going to be a couple days from now, so I'll see you in a little bit.
Looking little thing ever. I've never had a test print that looks so weird.
That was nice.
So the first thing I printed, of course, was somewhat of a version of Benchy, but this is the Steamboat. And one thing you'll notice on there is that he is looking beautiful. Very good details all over. I did have one of the columns break right there, and that was a sad, unfortunate thing. But all the rest of the things seem to be working out just great on the actual model itself. I also printed a rose, and it ran out of white filament, so luckily the filament detector over here does work. The filament detector does work, and it let me know. So I put some red filament in, and then I was able to finish it off and make this kind of a beautiful looking rose right there, just in time for Valentine's Day. Alright, and then of course we did a vase, and we did it just about max height. I did it just a few millimeters under max height, but this thing, one thing I really have to say, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. A lot of the vases that I make, sometimes, I knocked stuff over, oops. I searched and I just cannot find any imperfections on this entire thing. It is really one perfectly printed vase with literally 0 imperfections all the way around it, and this is one I like to test print just to make sure that everything is working properly on the axes, and then as well as just to make sure everything is just smooth, because you can definitely tell if you've got a smooth running printer when this prints right or not, and that one luckily came out flawless. The last thing that I printed on this guy was this right here, and this was basically just kind of a test to see the whole print volume. I wanted to go all over the print bed, and this guy actually turned out pretty well. The one thing I can say is I ended up printing it at 0.4 to make the layer heights really, really large, and you'll notice there was some imperfections in the layer height. I can say that the solution, of course, is doing this at 0.2, and you won't have any problems at all, but 0.4 does work, especially if you want to make something for the wall, something beautiful for Valentine's Day. This 500mm printer is going to be just beautiful for creating any kind of a large print, especially cosplay items. I can say I'm extremely excited to use this guy to just, you know, go in the future and make just larger than life items. I've been able to in the past create this big sword over here that you can see, as well as I've got a shield underneath that I need to put together, because here in a couple days I'm finally going to get some paints and I can finally put all that stuff together. It's going to be awesome. But right now I'm going to finish printing some more large things here with my big guy, and then in the next video we're going to be looking at this FL Sons SLA printer. So get ready. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Did you like all that stuff? Yeah, it's pretty cool, wasn't it? I know. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments below. Definitely hit a like. If you guys want to sub to the channel, it's always appreciated. You can definitely support the channel through Patreon as well. Or you can just join my Discord and we can chat about 3D printers and virtual reality and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So, you know, your choice. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.